Yay, there we go. We are live on the Facebooks and we are live on the Instagrams. Yay! So give us just a quick second here and we're going to try to...
It's working this time.
Yay!
The small miracle.
Look at that.
Hi guys. Okay, over here in the picture a little bit more.
Let's scooch in. Welcome back to our
Hi Michelle.
first Friday.
Yes. Woo Woo Friday.
Woo Woo Friday. And it's March. How does that happen?
It's crazy.
Um,
Don't forget to put your blow your cinnamon in the front door.
exactly.
Going in.
Get you some
Get you some
abundance coming in.
That's right. The money.
Money, honey.
All right. So, what's been going on with you?
Lord, woman. There's been a lot going on. This past full moon was
Yeah, it was.
something else, and just stuff shifting, stuff moving around, just energy in and out. It's not a complaint. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just different, and it's been a lot.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And
That's a lot.
I'm grateful for it, but it's been a lot.
Mhm.
It's been a lot. So
It's been weird. The last 2 weeks, I have felt like on Tuesday that it's going to be Friday the next day. Then on Wednesday, I thought it was going to be Friday. Thursday, and now it is actually Friday.
but it's been 3 weeks. This week's been 3
That's
weeks.
what it
long.
feels like. And last week was like that too. So it was really weird, like some sort of time weirdness. I don't know what it was. But we got 3 questions.
already.
So, yeah, if anybody is joining us live, please, put your questions in.
Questions in. We'll be glad to get to them. We've
Yeah.
got Facebook up over here and Insta up over here. So we are ready and willing to take some questions because it's been a minute since we've done this, and I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, me too.
All right. So first of
Michelle.
all, we had Michelle. Let me write down my time stamp here. So Michelle's starting a new job. Jesus.
Congratulations.
On Monday, and it's going to be remote. And she says to thank you very much for giving her the permission. Like some things that you said, like gave her the permission to I just need to wait for the right thing because I need my family to come first. And she said this really feels like how she needed it to feel starting a new job. But of course, as we all do, she wants to know what Spirit says about it. So,
Okay, what's the energy around the new job?
what advice does Spirit have for her starting this new job
Okay.
on Monday?
I'm filling these Earth Alchemy Oracle cards today. Let's see what we got.
Ooh, there's some good ones.
Oh,
I think.
interesting. Hi, OceanHappy.
Lady. So the first one that I got was Kindred, and it was like 2 things popped into my mind simultaneously. One is the people that you work with, like how you feel about them will be kind of like a family vibe that but it's also like I think the other thing that popped into my head was that it will be good for the physical family. Like it's kind of like, and especially 2 people, 2 kindred souls. It's like benefits both ways. Like you're gonna find good community with the people that you'll be working with, but it's also going to benefit the physical family in the process. Yeah, your vibe attracts your tribe. So the fact that you're,
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that it's feeling good in your body is a great sign that you're going to be where you need to be.
I feel like this other card is like you're the driver of this.
Yeah.
Like you get to choose.
Right. That second card was
Hi,
driver.
Carol. Kendra.
Yeah, it's the most literal. This card addresses forward movement and progress. It's an active core energy of intense determination that's being applied toward something hopeful or something helpful or unhelpful. It also validates travel and modes of transport such as bicycles, planes, automobiles, which I think is speaking to or it is a remote position that that you'll like the feeling that I'm get is like all this energy that I would have put into like physically getting there, I can now put into being the best I can be at the job or into other things in my life that I want to put that energy into. It's like now you get to choose what you drive and how you drive it, if that makes sense.
Okay, so I pulled this, the Green Man and the Moss Agate card, which is about ritual and ceremony. But this color green also makes me just think of like healing and peace and like calmness. I was trying to pull out some things here that might be like words. It's closely linked to nature, reminding us that there is much more to the earth beneath our feet. It shows us that the earth itself is living and breathing beneath us. The moss agate also talks about opening up pathways of communication to connect. And so I feel like this is about, because this is the card I pulled with it. It's called the chant card. Hear me loud, hear me roar, for I am here in my truth. And whenever I get these two cards together, I think it's about like being yourself and coming together with these people, connecting through communication and having an open heart when you go into it. Like come into it with the highest possible outcome, like as that is your expectation. And then the next two cards I pulled was be patient, and there's going to be some compromise as well, which there is anytime you work for any. Life is about compromise, right? So be patient with the process of getting to where you want to be, because it feels like it might be, it's always hard to learn new things and go into a new place and learn new people and the way that they do things. So just be patient with yourself as you're learning all of this, and you might have to compromise some. It might not be exactly the way you want it in the very beginning, but I feel like long term it feels really good.
Absolutely. So in manifestation, I pulled honor your feelings, and the one thing that kind of stood out for me there was make sure you're not ignoring your emotions. And then I was like, okay, so emotions. I went to the Soul's Journey card, and I'm like, well, what emotions are we talking about here? And guilt and indecision. So guilt and if we're talking like purple and orange, so a lot of like sacral creation type energy as well as a lot of crown energy. So guilt is I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth, and indecision is I use my intuition in all aspects of my life. So I feel like if there's any doubt of like, am I creative enough to be successful? Am I going to have enough, good ideas? Is everything, is it going to come easy to me? Am I going to have to fight? Am I going to have to spend too much, more time than I want to coming up with the ideas and and whatever? You need to let that shit go. And you just like trust your intuition. Like I'm going to go within. I'm going to let my intuition bring me the ideas that I need to have. I'm not going to have any like expectation of how it needs to be. I'm going to take whatever comes in. I'm going to be creative with it, and the only expectation I'm going to have is just to see how that's going to allow me to grow. Soul's growth.
Yeah, which ties in great with this card. It's called the ripple effect. Part of something bigger. Details are taken care of. So not to worry about, are you going to be good enough? Is it going to, are you going to be able to come up with the ideas that you need to? So just, know that this is part of something bigger for you, because this job feels like it's going to be around for a while. It feels long term to me.
Okay.
So I like it.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
I know it's been like a
Ohm-g? I guess that's how I say that.
A wild roller coaster of emotion, trying to get okay with where you are and find something new that you that feels good as well. Okay.
She said thank you, it resonates, and I love you both. And then OceanHappy has a question to add to our list.
Okay.
What does Spirit say about possible travel to see family in the upcoming weeks, or stay home and have me time? Should she travel or should she stay home and have me time?
Okay.
Okay, we will get to you
Yes, we will.
in a little bit.
So the next question was from Dawn, and
Okay.
she asked, should I quit making things that in my business that aren't selling as well and move on from those, or what guidance does Spirit have about that? Like, whether do you shift and pivot, or do you just move on from those things?
So intuitively, immediately, Dawn, I feel like you should. I feel like there's new things that need to be birthed into the world. Maybe some of those things that you were doing are not needed anymore, and you're holding on to them because you know how to do it, right? And you know it has been successful in the past, but it's time for you to move forward with the next thing. It's like we can't grow if we keep doing the same thing. So it's time for new growth is what I'm getting.
The first thing that popped into my head was, are you asking yourself why it's no longer selling? Like, I feel like there's like...
I feel it's like an energetic reason that it's not selling anymore. Almost like it's not needed. Like it's not needed by the people that are attracted to you for your things.
Well, and I feel like there's like some... I don't feel like it's a huge epiphany, but epiphany is the only word that I can come up with. Like once you realize why it's not selling anymore, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense, and it's gonna like open up the light bulb as to what you could do to replace it that would fill the need now that was feeling before.
Right.
Yeah.
I pulled a deep dive. It's time to dive into a task. So I feel like it's time for you to start like really thinking about what else you want to do. Yeah.
So I pulled the wise guy.
The wise guy.
The wise guy. If this card is validating or describing an experience, energy, individual, or ancestor, the only feeling they may not invoke is indifference. The wise guy runs the gamut from the hilarious wisecracking comic with sharp wit to the wisecracking windbag know-it-all, the bane of any dinner party. He's also the colorful character with street smarts, a rounder who survives off their wits, a bootlegger, con artist, or person of means by no means. At their darkest, however, Wise Guy is much more ominous and carries the imprint of violence and criminality, but no mistake, this is a preferred guest at the Crowbar Hotel jail.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So depending on the context of your question, the Wise Guy is advising you to protect yourself physically, economically, or spiritually. Enter into a current interaction or transaction with extreme caution and eyes in the back of your head. Read the fine print, get a second opinion, don't head out alone, accept candy from strangers, or walk through dimly lit alleys. You may consider this card as a fraud alert. At this time, you can trust that an individual or experience or location has your best interests or safety, or you can't trust that they have your best interests or safety at heart. So, that does tell me like there's kind of like this underlying reason that nobody really wants to talk about at parties kind of thing. Is to like, I feel like once you kind of dig down and find out like
why it's not,
what's the energetic reason why this isn't resonating anymore, because it may just be that it's not necessarily resonating with them, that it's not resonating for you.
Yeah.
And that once you kind of like get to the bottom of that, it'll be like, oh, okay, I see that has changed in me, so I need to change this offering.
Can you write down a question for Kendra?
I sure can.
She has a question about her health. She says she's still going through Western medicine diagnostics right now, but it's been very challenging, so we're reading around health. And then Carol has a question, is it time for me to look for a new job, or should I put more energy into readings right now? Hi, HoneybeeFarms. Welcome.
Hello.
All right, so who we got next? We got Julia?
We got Julia.
Okay, so she's applied for a new supervisor job.
Yes.
And she wants to know what the energy is around that for her, I guess, getting the job, and if it would be a good position for her. So girl, I'm just getting like, it feels good. The energy around it feels good. Ooh. liberation.
Liberation.
Mm-hmm.
Union. Artistic projects.
Mm-hmm. Well, it might free up some things that she could do, have some more artistic. Okay. All right, girl.
Oh. Well, you got a theme there.
Okay. All right.
So, the first one was sexual liberation, but that can also be like creativity,
yeah.
like birthing new ideas.
Mm-hmm.
But it could also be about, one of the first words here is libido, but not just necessarily like in the sexual connotation, but like passion, like like really being in love with what you do, or having what you're creating bringing you a lot of passion in the moment. But it's the words from this card are libido, artistic projects, romance, which again, loving what you do and having it bring you a lot of pleasure, and union. Then the next card was the reunion, spontaneity, change of plans, social connections. So, in a supervisory position, you have the potential to affect a lot of people's lives. Whether it's just their career aspect, but a lot of times it's even their personal personal lives as well. So this is making me feel like that some of those unions that you'll make in that position, some of the effects that you will have on some of the people that you interact with are going to be really, really needed, and you're gonna make a difference.
So this card goes perfect with that. It's the calm in the storm card, and it talks about take a moment to breathe, be still, and it says to express your thoughts and feelings, and then do what you can to find a peaceful place of calm within you. If another is in need, offer them a safe harbor. Be a port in their storm, which is basically what you were just talking about. And then I pulled these two cards from the Angel Answers card. You're ready, and helpful people. So I really feel like this feels really good for you to be in that position and to get that job. So that's my feeling, girl. Pull a healing waters card.
Yeah, I asked what would Julia manifest if she were to go all in on this job, and I got the first quarter moon in Taurus, which Taurus is stability. Stability, and also full speed ahead. But it says release control, and the card brings in a steadfast energy, but it's clashing with another energy that wants to be free. Seed control for best results. Realize that even though you can manifest your life to a great extent, you can't control everything all the time. Karma comes into play, as do your deep down beliefs about yourself. So it kind of made me feel like you've got all this opportunity to be this really, really good, beneficial experience in some people's lives, but you can't go into it going, I'm gonna be their benefit this way. Like, I'm gonna do it. This is how it's gonna have to happen for me to be the best I can be in this position. Is kind of like is more like let it release. I got the expectations card before, and I feel like release the expectation of how that's gonna happen, and just kind of like go with the flow and kind of see where you're needed, and work within that within that framework of kind of like the idea of how can I best serve in that in any particular situation that comes up in that job. But I feel like you've got good work to do there if you're so inclined to do it.
So I pulled the water carrier as something for you to think about, and it says what really matters, reflect and reprioritize. And the women on this, they're like reflecting each other, and they're holding space for themselves. She's got one hand over her heart chakra, the other on her stomach. So like those vulnerable places, like really thinking about what it is that you want out of this. And it may be it may be multiple layers of things that you want to get out of this, making more money, helping people, what that money will enable you to do if you're making more money. So,
layers.
Yeah, I feel like there's layers of things there that that you need to think about.
Right, it's good. Right, so then now we've got OceanHappy. Should I travel to see family, or should I stay home and rest myself?
Have some me time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to pull 2 separate piles for this. So, girl, what you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
She says she's on the fence about it.
I don't know why I gravitated to this card. It's like I can't think of like the question I want to ask this card. I'm just going to see what pops out. Mm. Getting a lot of
Well,
conflicting.
yeah, me too. So I pulled the card around you staying home, and the first card that came up was unlikely that you're going to go. Going on the trip. That was my first set of cards. And I also got the crossing though, and so this is about initiation. But whenever I look at this card, it's like this big chasm, and it doesn't look especially like I want to go there because it's very, there's a light there and you can go through the light, but it's very dark around it, and you can't see what's at the bottom. Like it's a free fall off the bottom. So to me, initially, it feels like going might not be in your best interest right now. And maybe you just need to decide one way or another. Like if you stay here, what are your plans? What are you going to do to take care of yourself? Like what's your agenda around your time at home? So I'm going to pull this for going. Okay. So it talks about like creation, fertility, balance, which is these kind of feel like they're in like juxtaposition of each other. And then if you stay home, I pulled the Be Assertive card, also the loss in space and need for direction. So maybe it's something about deciding what it is that you want. If you stay home, what do you want to do with that time? Because I feel like if you're going to stay home, you need to have a plan for some sort of I think you need to take that time to do some sort of healing work, like deep inner stuff that maybe you can't do whenever the family is around. That you could really take some time to just focus on what it is that you want.
Well, and I picked up the Keepers of the Light card, and I was like, I'm not really sure what question I'm supposed to ask that deck, but I was just like, well, whatever pops out, because I don't know what that's supposed to give me. But I got how do you say that? Hilarion.
Maybe.
Divine healing. Honor your sensitivity. Retreat to recharge and heal. Your light can support others. And that was in direct opposition to this card, Angels of Manifestation. Your efforts, determination, and perseverance have paid off. So that felt more like, well, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Then I got everything that I felt, every card that I pulled. It was like, I don't feel like one's going to be. I don't feel like there's a right or wrong answer. I feel like you're going to get good things out of going, and you're going to get good things out of staying home, and it just depends on why. I got the why card, which is more important. Get clear on
why you want to go.
Why is it important that you go? Why is it important that you stay? The other card that I pulled was Angel of Union. A partnership is blessed and destined for greatness. So again, it's like I feel like there's really good work you could do being with the family. Like there's some situation that's going to come up where you would, for lack of a better way to say it, be a blessing to someone that you saw. But there's also like if the why you need to stay home and take care of yourself is of a bigger importance right now than whatever that good you could do for that one person that you would see. It's kind of like there's no right or wrong answer. It's just like you need to, like you were saying, you need to know what you're going to do if you stay.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't, either way, you're going to need to make good use of that time. Like there's good things you could do here and there's good things you could do here. Which one feels more important to do right now?
Right.
Because there's work to do in both places is kind of how it feels to me.
Yeah, and then the last part I pulled is let it rain, allowing what is, inevitability and trust. So trust your decision whenever you make it.
Yeah.
So I think we have another question here.
Okay.
Honeybee Hemp Farm wants to know, what magic does the springtime hold? And then I see Karin over there. Hi Karin, hi girl.
Hey girl, hey.
My friend.
Karin. Oh, general reading. You got it, girl. Okay, so then we had Kendra.
All right.
About the
around her
health question, yeah.
Hi Frida, hi friend. Okay. So the word that's coming up is, I feel like there's something that they're not finding, and I'm hearing like metabolic. That's not a word that I use on a regular basis, and I don't know exactly if it's some metabolic issue. Glandular is the other word that's coming through. Again, not words in my usual vocabulary. Yeah, and I pulled empty well. It's time to replenish. So I think for metabolic stuff, isn't that like empty well, basically, and maybe like over
depleted energy.
Yeah, depleted energy. It feels like something like that to me.
And this is not a deck that I normally use, but for some reason I felt like I needed to have it out today. It's called the Woodland Wardens, and it's like animals and plants together.
And it's so cute.
And they're very pretty cards. The card that I pulled was the Hound and the Pear, and it's about loyalty. And kind of what that made me feel like is, as you were talking about, like depleted energy, is like this is going to sound so harsh, and Kendra, I don't mean it that way because you know I love you, but like misplaced loyalty, like you've been so focused and directing your energy over here that now all this has been depleted. And the pear, I think about it, it's very sweet and juicy, and it's like you've been giving all your sweetness over here because you felt like that's
because that's what you love to do.
That's what you love to do, and that's whatever that situation is. If I'm a good person, if I'm a loyal friend, if I'm a whatever, if I'm a good daughter, if I'm a good sister, if I'm a good wife, if I'm a good whatever, this is what you do to be that quote unquote person, and you've been overextending that energy and giving out all that sugar over here, and not filling your cup first. That's kind of the way that made me feel. So the metabolic thing kind of made sense with that.
Yeah. And I feel like if you kind of put the focus back on yourself, also when you started talking, I got, have you done any kind of muscle testing? Like gone to someone who does muscle testing for, is it this, is it that? We had somebody on the podcast, and I don't remember her name, and I'm sorry, but Linda Hood. Yeah, and I think she does remote sessions too, doesn't she? And she's here in Greensboro, but she tests like different parts of the body. I almost feel like you might want to couple what you're doing in the Western side with something a little bit more integrated to figure out what the base of the problem is. She said they have found something wrong with her pancreas. And I feel like if you get into that, figuring out what it is, so I pulled overwhelm and plenty. So I feel like there's answers coming that you're just going to have to dig a little bit deeper in order to get to the bottom of it. And check out doing some sort of muscle testing or something like that. Linda Hood, and she works at a center here in Greensboro.
Yeah,
you have training in that. Okay, cool. So you could even ask yourself, but if you want to go see somebody else, just to sometimes we need to hear it from somebody else. To say, is it my pancreas? Is it, is there some foods that you need to eat in order to support yourself? Because as we start getting into the menopausal ages, I don't know how old you are, but the body don't work the same.
Yeah, at all. The other card I pulled, like asking the next right action or the next right direction. I got message in a bottle, and so that's all about communication. And I feel like if you haven't already received it, you're gonna get a sign of the next right thing to do.
This might be your sign. I'm just saying.
Here's your sign. But I did feel like it's gonna be like in the body, like you're gonna get a feeling, or you're gonna get an idea that's just gonna like resonate deeply, but that because now you've put it out there and you're asking like, we've gone the Western way, and that's not getting us everywhere we need to go. Now, spirit energy, what's something else I could do? But now that you've kind of like put that question out there in a very reality-based way, I mean, you've asked it on the interwebs, that some sign's going to come through that's just going to be like, oh, okay, that I could try that. That's the next step. That makes sense. That would be a good thing to try. But it's kind of like one of those things. It's like, don't go looking for the sign, but like expect it to come in. Expect to get like direction on what the next right thing to do would be.
Cool. I like that. All
yeah,
right.
Things have changed a lot. Yeah, girl.
Yeah, ain't it fun?
Whew.
All right. So we got Carol next.
Mm-hmm.
So should she look for a new job or focus
continue
on her
with
readings?
the readings? Yes.
I don't know which cards I want to use.
Well, everything all at once.
That's really pretty.
Yeah,
I love those cards.
I do too.
They're so like vibrant and beautiful.
The two cards that popped out were Peace and Color Spectrum, but they're 20 and 21. So, definitely in succession. So I feel like there's like, like a progression of things that are going to happen, like 1, 2, 3. The first thing that popped into my mind is was the question, why are you, or do you feel like it has to be one or the other?
Yeah.
That both is a viable answer.
Yeah.
But the 20 card piece says slow down, recharge, take a break, and 21 says self-expression, movement, letting out emotions. So
Share your thoughts.
So it's kind of like whichever one right now is feeling like the burden, you may want to let off the gas on that one just a little bit. not stop it, but the whole recharge, take a break, maybe even get some perspective, and then like self-expression, movement, letting out emotions, sharing your thoughts. If that to me feels like, and maybe it's my own ego talking, because that's what it feels like for me, but like the readings are the way you express the stuff, the way that you let out the emotions, to me that feels like the movement part of between the two. So and it's so beautiful and etheric, and there's even like kind of like do you see a skeleton kind of like right there?
Yeah.
Like it's just it's very etheric, and it there's a lot of color. I see a lot of flow. Like I can't say that you should not look for a new job, but I definitely feel like it would not do you any good to give up on the readings.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that would be if you do have the drive to not accentuate, but have something else coming in other than just the readings, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of like where the joy and where the movement and where the letting of the emotions, the self-expression part is coming in is with the readings. So I don't think it's walk away from that, but make sure you don't overextend and that you recharge and know that you're putting your energy in toward the things that are of your highest excitement. Like, don't just do this because I think it's what I should do. If you need to get the job, but don't also give up the joy and the experience of the other thing that it really does feel like something that you need.
Yeah, it feels the same to me, like this and that are true. Like both things could be juggled at the same time. I pulled this card first, which is Calm in the Storm, like I pulled for somebody else too, or Julia, I think. This also talks about chaos and like, I think that's the mind right now, maybe being in a chaotic mind of what should I do? I don't know what to do. For getting a job, I pulled the Caterpillar, which is opportunity. So I feel like there could be some opportunities for you to have a regular job on top of the other thing, but I don't think that you should let go. Because I pulled this card from the Healing Waters, which says, don't hold back. It's time. Go for it. Dive in. But I do feel like both things could be viable at the same time. Because I feel like a regular job can maybe give you a little bit of security, which might make you feel better. But the other things are important too, because this is what I pulled around the readings, was to share your thoughts. So share your knowledge, share your wisdom, share whatever spirit is bringing through you. And then I love this card, girl. It says, in the hand, the universe is your partner. So decide what you want to do and just go for that. But it says, the universe is partnering with you. But I think this and that are true at the same time. You can do both. Because I think, as readers or people who are in the spiritual world, sometimes we think that we need to be in that world all the time to do the most good. And I think sometimes being in the regular world is just as important, because we can reach more people. Maybe just with our beingness, we don't have to be, healing them.
Yeah, right.
But just by being who you are can help somebody else that maybe wouldn't be exposed to weirdos like us,
Right.
As your regular life.
Right. As you're saying that, what I'm kind of seeing is like, I go back to my time in corporate America, and everybody was they're just like so downtrodden of having to be here, and it's so toxic. And but that one person that like had that thing outside of work that really lit them up, and they came in every day and they're like, oh, guess what I did last night? I had this really great reading, and da 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 da, and they're just so happy because this is not my whole life, and I know there's great things outside of this, and like they were like the beacon. They were the people that everybody kind of.
And weren't you and Michelle friends from your corporate world?
Yes.
And look, she's our friend now.
Yeah, she's our friend now.
So.
But you know, it's. Sometimes it's just it's not that you're, you know, I think about like the Christian witness. It's not like, you know, that you're coming in, you know,
Preaching spirituality.
Yeah, preaching Jesus is the answer, but they see it in your life. Like they see the joy in you. They see that you're not got all your eggs in one basket, and you can make the money and do it, you know, like the 3D way. But then you've got this thing over here that really lights you up, and they see that potential, and it gives them hope, and it makes a difference for them. So I see the good in that. And I was asking the keepers of the light, like who could you look to for like inspiration of what to do? And I got Green Tara, and she's beautiful. Just look at that, just so beautiful.
Protection.
Supreme protection. You are protected. Cords are being cut, moved beyond limitation, and trust. So that made me feel like it's about a validation of, girl, why are you thinking like this? If, then, or one or the other. It's just like be who you are. If who you are from 9 to 5 is, you know, Little Miss go to work, then be Little Miss go to work 9 to 5, and then from, you know, 5 on whatever, you know,
be a magical being.
Yeah, be the woo-woo queen. Who cares? That's what you want to do. Who's laughing at me?
I'm laughing at Emily.
Oh.
She said she's late.
You're never late. You're right on time.
Party.
You're right on time. Okay. Spring magic. HoneybeeFarms.
Oh, yes.
What magic does spring have in store?
Ooh. I love this question.
I do too. Obviously, this is why I had to have my little Woodland Wardens cards.
Okay, I'm going to take these, I think.
Tell us what the spring has got going on.
What kind of magic does spring? Whoa!
It's got all kinds. All
the magic.
Good gracious!
Wow! Well, these are great cards. Purification, strength,
and satisfaction.
Wow!
The elk and ash, the trout and the lily of the valley, and the turtle and the coriander. I love me some cilantro.
Yeah, I do too. And I love the turtle. Like
That
carries home with him on his back.
Well, and that
and sacred geometry and the shell.
and being at home in two worlds. Like because he has home with him, then he can be on the land or in the water and be just as at home. So I've definitely, especially ever since this last full moon, and moving into this spring timing, you know, starting to see like just the first starts of little things budding and, you know, little blooms coming out. The whole purification thing. Like I felt a lot of energy shifting and a lot of stuff falling away. And what I mean by that is just like realizations, like things that I thought I understood and that I knew to be true. Like all of a sudden I'm seeing them from a different perspective, and I'm like, why was I thinking it had to be that way? Obviously it doesn't have to be that way. Like just and it's not that what I was thinking was wrong. It's just it feels like now I'm seeing it from just a slightly different perspective, and it's like, oh, that was a little narrow-minded to think it had to be like that. I can see how it could come in a myriad of different ways now. That kind of stuff, like just that. When I think about the purification, it's like this. The narrow view is kind of like expanding and starting to see things from a few more angles than you had, knowing that there's 10,000 more angles that you're that you can see it through, but at least now your vision of this thing that you thought was so like has expanded a little bit, and you're seeing it a little more fully than you were a little while ago. That's what that card feels like to me. And of course, you know, strength. You know, obviously, the more satisfaction. I was listening to Bashar, as I do when I go down those rabbit holes, the other day, and he was his whole topic was on satisfaction, like living in your highest satisfaction. Mm-hmm. And actually, it was also Abraham Hicks was talking about like how everything kind of leads to satisfaction. Mm. Like it's not that your dream came true. It's that you're able to now see where you are in the aspect of your dream, and you're satisfied with where you are. Mm. That you get to that point of ultimate satisfaction with whatever the universe has conspired, and where you are, and the situation that's happening, and you can kind of like sink into that and be like, oh yeah, okay, this is a good place. Okay, I'm satisfied. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of like the when are you more powerful? When do you have more strength? When you can like stand in where you are and be like, oh yeah, I can see how this is exactly where I need to be right now. Mm-hmm. I'm totally satisfied.
Yeah, that's a good feeling.
Yeah.
So the cards that I pulled for you feel more like prescriptive.
Ooh, good word.
Big. I had to use a big word.
Brenda Sue's using big words.
So I pulled the empty well card for you as well. Actually, it flew out of the deck. So make sure that you are doing things that fill you up during the springtime, or during the process of the things that you've got coming in, because I feel like there's a lot of work to do to get to the next step. Mm-hmm. Because I've also pulled the Dragon Sword, which is about protecting the future. So I feel like the springtime is going to be a time for you to create new ideas and new things that you want to do, and not to get too deep into that you forget to fill yourself back up. Mm-hmm. So as you're planning what's next and what's next and what's next, because I feel like the spring, it's going to be like full speed ahead for you with new ideas and plans, and planning for the year out, and the year after that, and the year after that, like building upon what you've already started. And then I pulled the plunge card for you too. Like this, some of these cards just keep popping out for all of y'all. And it says, don't hold back, it's time, go for it, dive in. So I feel like this is part of that dragon's horde about protecting and planning for the future.
Well, and you've pulled, that's the second dragon card you pulled too.
Just saying.
I can't remember what the other card was, but I saw it had a dragon on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So
can I use that phrase after 5 o'clock? Be the woo bee.
Yeah.
Absolutely, girl. Absolutely. We should all have that opinion, I think.
No, me too.
Okay. And last, unless anybody else has anything, if you've got any other questions, be sure to...
He says, spot on with purification and expansion, realizations, and all goodness. Thank you for the reminder to replenish.
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Always.
Who we got next?
It's Karin. She wants a general reading.
All right, Karin. All right. Whoa.
There we have it.
They just jumping out at you, girl. Whoa. Huh.
There they go, wanting to get deep.
Those are some deep cards right there. Can anybody hear the dog barking? I'm just curious.
If you can, he's not in any danger. He just
wants to be.
He can't go where he wants to go, so he thinks he's dying. He's not.
Ooh, oh,
more dragons.
A dragon or a lion?
Looks like a dragon.
Got red eyes. Kendra says she can't do the dog. That's good.
Oh, good.
All right, one more of these. I'll take the lead. Which one has it, Spirit? Oh, I love this for you, girl. It's gonna make me want to cry. Hey, I don't mind the woo-woo queen either. You could be the woo-woo queens at night.
There you go. So, don't mean to get so deep, but
I feel like this will be deep.
General reading. I got purpose and teacher. So, you know, obviously I don't know if that's something that you've been like thinking about, pondering on, or if you're kind of like if you're in the position of like, what is my purpose? Or I think I know what I'm supposed to be doing, but is that really what I'm trying to do? This question to help you better connect with your earthly pursuits. What did you do as a child that made the hours pass like minutes? And are you still doing this in some area of your life? And if not, why? So do you feel like that? I keep hearing the word reckless abandon. Do you feel like that passion still resonates for you in your life? And then I also got the teacher card. I'm going to see what you can go ahead. I want to see what this comes out.
So, girl, this is what I pulled for you. You ready? Know your fears. You have fears, both big and small. We all do. Some fear is felt for a good reason. It serves to remind you to be cautious and not to take foolish and dangerous risks. Other fears you feel are but shadows that you have made real and given substance. They serve only to make you doubt yourself, to question your good judgment, to fear success, to restrict and to limit. Look within, know your fears, shine a light upon them, and see them for the shadows and mists that they are. And y'all know she was talking about dragon, right? Well, this card over here talks about dragon, but I'm not there yet. Seek your answers within. If you find yourself confused, your intuition and her voice drowned out by the answers, wisdom, and advice of others, then it's time for you to step away. Withdraw to a place of solitude. Like the bear, it is time for you to hibernate, to go within and seek the void, and then to embrace the silence that dwells within. Within that silence are the answers to your questions, knowing your fears. Because they are answers born of your truths. They will be answers that move you forward instead of holding you still. So I feel like these two cards are telling you, and look at the imagery on both of them. It's a lot of dark. I feel like it's going deep.
Yeah.
Going deep in and seeing what it is that's in there that needs to be cleared out from, childhood, from your life, experiences. What is holding you back? There's some truth in there, and you've got to dig in and see what it is. And then I pulled this card, the Priscilla Bluestone. It's about pilgrimage, sacred sites, grid work, and dragon energy. So, let's see. It's a very earthy energy, bringing an electromagnetic charge to anchor you to the core of the earth through your spiritual work, and a deep grounding through your earth star chakra. I feel like it's asking you to go on a pilgrimage to connect with new places, sacred sites, ancient trees, and forests. It's a journey to the unknown, which may be within. That's what I'm feeling. Surrendering so that you can find new meaning and connections with yourself, others, the land, and the planet. So I feel like it's about doing some deep inner shadow work. Yay, fun times.
The thing about the teacher that popped out is, it was saying when the student is ready, the teacher will come. If you receive this card, the beloved of the teacher could be heralding the arrival of a mentor who will change your life in many favorable ways. The teacher also may be encouraging you to graduate, finally, telling you that it's time to step out of the mindset of student and take on the rightful mantle of teacher. The roles of teacher and student are intrinsically linked, as the greatest teachers are always lifelong students. The teacher reminds us that the minute we think we know it all, and that's when we put a ceiling on our potential. So that what resonated me more out of that is, are you ready to graduate? Like what you were saying is like it's for lack of a better way to say it, it's kind of like as long as we're still like in the class, we don't have to take any responsibility and like do the thing. But as soon as we graduate, we kind of like have to act on what we know, and that's like super scary. And the reason that I'm saying that is the angel card that I pulled was the angel of prayer. Ask the universe and the angels for help and guidance. So that's, it's kind of like I'm being told I'm ready to step out. Am I really ready to step out? Oh, I'm supported. I got this. I'm ready to step out.
This goes perfect with your teacher card.
Mm-hmm.
You have pulled the hand fastings because your situation requires the help of another. If you are struggling in your business or career, consider finding a business partner with the skills you lack. If you're struggling to complete a project, seek a guide or mentor who can teach you the method so that you don't have to waste your time. If you're struggling to make ends meet, consider asking loved ones for a little bit of help. There is no shame in seeking a helping hand, especially from those who are already devoted to you. That is what partnerships are about. They are a give and take without keeping score.
Right.
So
that's exactly what it said.
Find your support as you're doing what you need to do.
Ask the universe for help and guidance.
Mm-hmm.
So just ask
ask
for what
them
you need and let them send it.
Exactly. If it's a helpful person that you need on your path, ask for that.
Yeah,
right.
I did, Harley. I did say you woo-woo queen. Be the woo-woo queen that you want to be. Yeah, because I'm extra.
All right, I think that's all of our questions.
I do too.
Hi, Christine. How's it going, girl? Haven't seen you in a while.
That was fun, and I know I say this every month, but we've gone to once a month. But I mean, we're still able to sit here and do an hour's worth and
fun.
Have everybody engaged and everything. And I'm so appreciative of that. That I'm glad y'all don't forget about us while we're not here, and that you look forward to getting the readings as much as we do, just to giving them. So we appreciate y'all showing up, and allowing us to do this for you, because it makes us all happy.
Yeah, and one more thing I want to say.
Say it, girl.
About the reading with the partnership and asking for help and that kind of thing. It's really important to have people in your life that lift you up and help you to move forward. And just thinking about our little podcast friend group, if I'm weak in something, Chandra might be really strong in that. So we really help each other to grow the podcast, but to grow personally too, because we're always pushing each other to do more and to try more and to do new things, and we're not afraid to do new things.
Right, and inevitably, but inevitably, if I know half about it, then Lynn or Camille or somebody else has been exposed to at least the other half, and we can
figure it out.
Yeah, put our heads together and get the whole story. So it's partnership
and community is really